Every team's had them, and every recruiting cycle has them. Yep, I'm talking about BUSTS. If you live under a rock and don't know what that is, a BUST is a highly rated high school recruit that comes into college with a lot of buzz, but just doesn't live up to the hype. Today, I'm going to throw some players at you that, unless they played for your team, you probably have not heard anything about them since their recruiting journey. Maybe you wanted them to commit to your team, but now you're pretty happy they didn't. Our first bust that you may have forgotten about is none other than Joey Gatewood. Unless you're an Auburn fan, you probably have not heard this guy's name in what feels like decades. Joey Gatewood finished in the top 100 of 24/7's 2018 overall recruiting rankings, standing at 6'4", 232 pounds. I'm sure you can guess who this guy was compared to. Yep, the Cam Newton comparisons came flying in for Gatewood, especially after he committed to Auburn. He was lighting dudes up in Florida throughout high school, man. After redshirting in 2018 during Jarrett Stidham's final year at Auburn, Gatewood would battle for the Tigers' starting quarterback position against another high school recruit with a ton of buzz, Bo Nix. And Gatewood did not win that position battle. Gus Malzahn developed some packages for Gatewood that he would use from time to time throughout 2019, but that was all the action Gatewood would see at Auburn under Nix. Gatewood entered the transfer portal after the 2019 season and went to Kentucky, where he lost another position battle and saw limited time. Gatewood once again entered the transfer portal, and this time he reunited with his former coach. Gatewood went back to the state of Florida to join Gus Malzahn at UCF. Gatewood got to play in every game for the Knights in 2021. Well, sort of. Just like he did at Auburn, Gus used Gatewood in specific packages for him to run the ball as a gadget-type player, but never played him as an actual quarterback. And I guess Gatewood accepted the fact that he was not going to see the field as much calling the signals. He transferred to Louisville as a tight end in 2023. He got decent playing time, appearing in every game, and ended the season with 9 catches for 150 yards. But that was all she wrote. Gatewood did not become the next Cam Newton, but there's nothing wrong with that, man. That's Cam Newton. Those expectations are impossible to meet. And he still played 4 years of college football. That's really good. Joey, if you're somehow watching this, War Eagle, and I wish you the best. Most of Nick Saban's 5-star acquisitions turn out to be pretty damn good, but when it comes to Scooby Carter, that was not the case. In fact, it was the complete opposite. Our boy Scoob was a 5-star corner out of Texas, standing at a 6 foot, 185-pound frame. And the kid could play. The only problem was, he was an absolute moron. Scooby rolled into Tuscaloosa and played like a 1-star off the field. He would skip class, roll into practice late, and had multiple violations of team rules. And if you know Nick Saban, you know that is not going to be tolerated for very long. He ended up taking the JUCO route to Mississippi Gulf Coast. But in the middle of that, he was arrested for domestic violence. Jeez, man. At Gulf Coast, Scoob played pretty well. He only played 5 games, but tallied 13 tackles and 6 pass breakups. He ended up committing to Arkansas State, but I don't think he ever suited up for a game. I can't find any stats or records of Scoob playing another snap of college football after his JUCO time. And that's bad. There's no telling what happened in the months leading up to his first season at Arkansas State. For a former 5-star that was signed by Nick Saban of all people, just an absolute disappointment of a college football career. Just a damn shame. All right, let's look at a more recent bust out of the 2021 class. Sam Huard was a 5-star on just about every recruiting site. This guy was a gunslinger in high school. He broke the Washington high school state record for most career passing yards. He decided to stay home and commit to Washington under recently hired head coach Jimmy Lake. Washington ended up being an absolute disaster under Coach Lake, and he was fired midway through his second season and Huard's first season. Huard saw limited time as a freshman, and when he got to play, it wasn't great. Just barely over a 50% completion rating, 1 touchdown, and 4 picks. Not good. Washington brought in Kalen DeBoer after the firing of Lake, and along with DeBoer came Michael Penix Jr. Yep, Huard was not seeing the field. After 2022, he transferred to Cal Poly, where he was given the starting role. He threw for over 2,000 yards with 18 touchdowns, but he threw 10 picks, and that's at the FCS level. Not good for a 5-star caliber player. Huard transferred to Utah after his stint with Cal Poly and did not see the field once. Now, having recently transferred to USC, he is still buried in the depth chart. It does not look like Huard is going to live up to his 5-star potential. Last but not least, we're going to stay in the 2021 class and go to the very top of it. And when I say very top, I mean the number 3 overall ranked player in the country. Corey Foreman out of California was a 6'4", 265-pound beast of an edge rusher who could really play any position on the field. He could get to a quarterback as an edge, he could shed interior blockers as a D lineman, and he could get into some coverage as an outside linebacker. Foreman decided to stay close to home in college and committed to USC. But this beast that we saw in high school just did not translate to the next level. He ended up cutting weight and weighed around 240 pounds his freshman year. To put it frankly, the guy just sucked as an edge. He only recorded 24 tackles and 2 sacks in 2 years as a Trojan. And not only was he not getting to the quarterback, he was also getting mauled by offensive linemen that were 100 pounds heavier than him. The USC coaching staff really wanted to utilize the 5-star talent that Foreman had, but it just couldn't work. He was too small to be an interior lineman, he was too slow to play linebacker, and at edge, yeah, he just sucked. He did snag the game-winning pick against UCLA though. That's pretty sick. After only appearing in 3 games in 2023, Foreman decided to enter the transfer portal and sought for a fresh start at Fresno State. And hey, he had a pretty solid first season. Nothing too crazy, 24 tackles, 3 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles, but maybe just getting back into the rhythm of things is what he needed. Hopefully he can have an even better season with Fresno State this upcoming season, and maybe aim to earn a spot on an NFL roster. But to have his college career go this way as the number 3 overall recruit in his class, I think it's safe to say this guy was a bust. But that's going to do it for today's video. There are plenty more busts that I didn't cover today, and there will be plenty more busts in future recruiting classes. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video.